Hey everyone, welcome here to Front Row Promotions. I am one of the hosts tonight, Kandi Burton. It's so good to see you all. So before we start, I just wanted to send a big shout out to my lovely partner in crime, my sister Lisa. She won't be able to join us tonight. She's got some things going on that she had to take care of, so we send her our best. We send her our love. We love you, Lisa. So to help me carry the show today, I brought a very special friend. And if you've seen our show before, you know our constant yammering about the Metal Summit. We brought Angel Alamo with us. Angel, welcome to Front Row Promotions.
Oh, thank you. I spent like a half hour of ironing my hair when I got the news. So
oh, you're way more high maintenance than me, so that's perfect. Yep. So guys, we have such a cool show for you tonight. Our special guest, Kobe, joining us from New Jersey. Am I right?
Yeah.
Kobe, welcome to Front Row. It is so cool to meet you. How are you?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
We're fantastic. Listen, I mean, I hear you've had a really exciting summer.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what's been going on.
Well, I've had many shows. I perform with a lot of bands like The Nerds.
Yes.
Rubik's Cube. I've performed with a lot of bands, and they're all on my website that you can look. And I have a website, kobereese.com, for those of you that do not know. All of my shows, all of my future shows. I have a photo gallery on there. If you want to contact me for any reason, if you want to give a show suggestion, you can do right ahead. But that's on my website. And yeah, my summer's been great.
That's awesome. That's so cool to hear. Well, so I've never actually spoken to you directly before. I mean, I've seen you on Lisa's show. I've seen you on the Metal Summit. But just for my own curiosity, Kobe, can you tell me how you got started, doing what you do?
Yes. So I was 7 when I first started loving rock music. My family would play it on the car, on the radio, in the house, on all our Googles. And I first started by picking up chopsticks and playing on my bed frame with my headphones on. And I'm 7, I'm little, and I was playing along to the Sing soundtrack. That was what it was. And then my parents got me drum lessons, and they got me a drum set. And then they enrolled me in School of Rock in Clark, which was a big step for me. I was taught by Joey Casada there.
Yes.
And when I was 9, I did my first live singing performance with School of Rock.
Wow.
The first song I ever did was Beth in a Kiss show there.
Oh, wow.
And it was such a good time. That was when I really knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a rock star right then and there. And then I joined another music school, and I started performing with adult bands, and it just kept snowballing and snowblowing. And so much has happened, and it's been great.
That is so cool. Wow. I mean, in 11 years, you've done more than a lot of, the adult rock stars have done. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fantastic. So
Thank you.
When you started getting into rock music, what were some of the first bands that you started listening to?
So the first band that was probably one of my favorites was definitely Motley Crue. That was the first one. I love Vince Neil, Tommy Lee. But the second band was definitely Bon Jovi. They're my favorite New Jersey guy, definitely one of my biggest idols.
Very, very cool. Now, you've never seen Bon Jovi, have you? Is that something
No.
that's on your radar? I mean, obviously, you'd like to see them in the future, right?
Yeah, that would be a dream come true if I got to meet him or see him live. But he's getting old, so it would have to be pretty quick.
That is awesome. No, I'm so cool. That's so cool to hear. All the different perspectives on how you kind of got into rock music. That is really, really cool. So were those your influences? Like, were they sort of inspiring you to do what you do?
Definitely. When I first started drumming, Peter Criss was a big one. Kiss was the first concert I've ever been to, so I love Kiss. I just saw Peter Criss on the drum set. He was making faces. His show was amazing. And definitely his drumming style was amazing. So he's definitely one of my biggest idols. And more drummers that I love and inspired me are Joey Casada is a big one, but he taught me. He's played with ZO2, Eric Martin. He's really, really a good drummer. And another one is Jordan Kanata. He plays with Slaughter now. I don't know if you've heard of him, but his performance abilities are out of this world. It is crazy. But I've never seen him live, so that would be another really fun thing that I get to do.
That is very, very cool. And, I've been seeing your mom. She's been posting a bunch of stuff that you've been doing over the summer. And I saw that you met Peter Criss. What was that like?
I did. I went to see him with Sister's Doll at the Cutting Room in New York City. And I got to go into his dressing room and meet him. It was definitely the biggest dream I've ever had. And it came true that night. And he gave me some advice. He talked to me for about 30 minutes. It was a dream come true. It really was.
So he's a cool guy then, huh?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Peter Criss, Kiss has always been one of my favorite bands. I'm not going to lie to you, Kobe. I'm a little bit jealous that you got to meet him. That is so cool. That is so cool.
I heard you met Bon Jovi. That's crazy.
Oh, man, that's on your bucket list then, I'm guessing, huh?
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very cool. All right. So as you know, we have a very special guest co-host on the show today, Mr. Angel Alamo. Everybody wave hello. Hello, Angel.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. I'm going to turn it over to you. Anything that you want to ask Kobe? What's on your mind tonight?
I'm just curious about your first day of school. How was it like when, I'm just imagining, you having a conversation with your friends about, hey, what did you do this summer?
Yeah, the first day of school was definitely very interesting. A lot of kids knew me, some didn't, but most of my friends know what I do. And it was about like a week or so into the school year, and it was about 3 days ago, I think. But I actually was put on my local town's magazine. I was on the cover, and I have an article in the magazine, but a bunch of kids were going up to me, hey, were you the kid on the cover of the Westfield Local? Oh. And it was really fun because everyody knew me.
Has anyone asked you for an autograph? Hey, we asked it at the same time, but I asked it first.
Yeah, some people have actually asked me. They're like, can I have your autograph? Can you sign my arm?
Oh, that is so cool. What is that like when kids your age and kids at school, they come up to you and say, hey, aren't you Kobe Reese? Can I have your autograph? What's that like? Yeah, it definitely is very I'm proud. I've gotten so far when I started at 7 that people are asking for my autograph. And when I started, I was just taking lessons at School of Rock. And I definitely feel that it's like a good moment and it's happy for me. There you go. Angel, stay with it.
When it comes to drummers, and again, just curious to ask, do you prefer playing with the like behind you? You have the 2 tom-toms, and you have drummers that prefer 3 or 4. Is there any preference? Like, what would be your dream drum set?
Now, I would probably love 3 or 4 toms, but I know that I can't have it right now. But I love my drum set, as you see behind me. My toms are actually connected to my cymbals. So I have 2 toms and 1 floor tom, and that's good. I can play a lot. You really don't need a lot. Many drummers think that, I need this big drum kit so I can play amazing.
When I was your age as a drummer, that was what I was thinking. I used to look at Eric Carr's drum set.
Yeah.
And be like, man, I want his drum set. I just want to be behind it just for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I played with drum sets with bands that have 5, 6 toms. And when you're back there, you realize that you really only need the 2 toms and the floor tom because you can play all the same stuff. But it's just really for the show that people go, oh, look how big his drum kit is. It's so cool.
Even for the drum fills, I'm just curious to ask because being that when I was your age, I used to play drums as well. Even with the 1 tom, even when you're doing the drum fills, where you're going do 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 do. Oh.
Yeah, that happens a lot. For one of my music schools, they have 1 tom, so I've gotten pretty used to playing with it. Okay. And really, again, you don't need that 2nd tom, but it's good to have. It's comforting.
When it comes to holding the drumsticks, have you ever tried the style of the Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts? Because
Yeah,
Because
I
when I
mean,
was your age, I tried to play like him for like 5 minutes, and I really could not get the concept of him just playing the hi hat, and the snare drum the way that he did. Because only he did it that way, and I just could not do it. Have you ever tried it that way?
yeah, I've definitely tried it that way some point in my career, but there was
Okay.
many drummers that I watched videos of, and Charlie Watt, I really look up to him, but he was not one that I studied really, really hard on. But I've definitely seen him. I tried to play like him, but
Very, very cool. Now, you mentioned a couple times that you obviously, you joined the School of Rock. How did that come about?
well, first when my parents got me a drum set, they got me a small kit, and they said, "Oh, we need to enroll him in drum lessons." So we found the nearest music school, which was in the next town over, Clark. And we talked to the owner, and then the drum teacher was really, really nice, and I loved him right from the start. And I started taking lessons with him. And the first lesson, I came out so happy. And my first drum kit was really, really small. So then my parents got me a new drum kit that was bigger, like this one. And then it kept getting bigger and bigger. And now I have this one. And I'm really happy. But that's how it all started.
Very cool. Now, I also understand that you have recently released a music video, and I think the title is, I mean, the whole thing is cool. I've seen the music video, I've heard the song, it is awesome. But that
Thank
title,
you.
I just want to be happy. I want to be happy.
Yes.
Be happy. Tell us about the making of that song and the video. That what a cool experience it must have been, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely a cool experience. But the reason I made that song was I got a scholarship from the David Z Foundation. Paulie from the David Z Foundation. If you don't know, the David Z Foundation is an organization, and because Paulie Z is the owner, and his brother passed away in a car accident, and he was a musician also, so they created an organization for him, and they love to help young musicians. So that's what they did for me, and they helped me write my first song, I Want to Be Happy. And we worked on it for several months, and we created a music video, and we got to record a professional recording, which was really,
Very
really
cool.
cool.
So how long did it take to record the music video?
The music video was actually really, really fun to record. I'd say it took about a month to record the music video, recording all the scenes, but we had an editor mix all the videos together. My mom was actually the one recording all of the films. Shout out to my mom. But she did a great job. I thank her so much. But we sent them
Aw.
all to the editor, and then he mixed them. And yeah, it took us about a month to film.
That is really cool. So, oh wow! I mean, like I said, in 11 years, you've performed with all these different bands. You've
Yeah.
written a song. You've put out a music video. I mean, you've got Joey Casada behind you. You got the David Z Foundation behind you.
Yeah.
Amazing! Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. All right. So before I kick it back to Angel for a few more questions, we actually do have some people chiming in that are watching you and
Okay.
think you're totally awesome. We've got Amy Gellick says, hi, Kobe. Amy's a big Aerosmith fan, by the way. So she
Yeah.
loves Aerosmith. And your Uncle Steve, Psycho Steve from the Metal Summit is
Yeah.
tuned in. He says, hi, Kobe. So Steve wants to know... Steve wants to know who your favorite member is of the Metal Summit.
I mean, it's really, really hard to choose. I mean, I definitely love them all.
Thank you.
But Angel, I do love you the most.
Oh,
There
hey,
you go.
you know what? You want to hear something funny? Cycle Steve's son. I'm actually the favorite as well.
That is
And
great.
they're like about your age, so that must be I'm doing something right. That I'm like the coolest uncle now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve, for asking that question.
There you go.
Yeah, I love them all, though. Thank you guys so
Yeah.
much for having me on your show, by the way.
Absolutely. We're so happy to have you. Kobe, we also have another question. My mom, Susan, is actually tuned in.
Oh, cool.
So she wanted to know, is there a band that you would like to play with in the future?
Yeah, there's a ton of bands. I mean, I've really gotten to that level where I'm meeting all of the more famous adult cover bands, But I got to go on stage with STP. I performed with Carmine and Vinny a piece. So I'm starting to get a little more higher in the like standings, the music world. And I would love to play with some bigger bands, even if I got to meet the members from Iron Maiden, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi. If I got to go on stage with Bon Jovi, that would be the top for me.
Absolutely. So, I mean, if you ever got to perform with Bon Jovi, that's your all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you prepare for something like that? Like, do you think you'd be starstruck, nervous? Like, what would you feel?
I would be really, really starstruck because I don't usually get nervous. I don't know why, but the stage is like my home. It's really comforting to me, and I never get nervous. So if I went on stage with him, I would be hugging him. I would be so happy.
Oh,
yeah.
That is so cool. So last question here before I switch it over to Angel. So you said that the stage is your home. It's your home away from home. When you're up there and you're watching everybody in the audience, looking up at you and smiling and cheering you on, I mean, what does that feel like?
Yeah, I mean, a couple people, most of the audience that I play for are all happy. Oh, hey, you look cool. Can I take a photo? Even before I perform. And when I get on stage, I look out and all of them are smiling and clapping, just really welcoming, And then when I get off stage, they all, hey, great job. They want to take a selfie with me. Yeah, they want me to sign I give them all business cards. So they're like, can you sign your business card? And I'm like, yeah. But it's really so nice. Cool.
You must have signed more autographs than all the rock stars combined, huh?
Yeah. Yes, I do sign a lot.
That's so cool. All right, Angel, go for it. All you.
I just want to share a quick story with you. When I met John Bon Jovi, I was weak on the knees, could not speak. I had to have Steve literally go up to John Bon Jovi for me and ask him, hey, this guy over here, can he take a picture with you? So I'm thinking about a million things that I wanted to say to him my whole life. And all I could say was, I love your music. And then just took the picture with him. Just nervous and everything. But thank you, Steve, for being nice enough to make that happen. And this was at the Soul Kitchen in Red Bank. So if you ever get a chance, go there, and you never know.
Yeah.
Never know who might show up, huh?
Yeah.
Angel, stay with it.
When it comes to drums, because I know growing up, the record for me was Megadeth, the Euthanasia album that had Nick Menza. Like, I listened to that record. And the reason why I like that record was just the drums, the way Nick Menza really played drums on that record. Is there an album that you like just purely because of the drums?
Yeah, I mean, I love most of the Kiss albums. I love Peter Criss on them. But I also like Tommy Lee's drumming in the Dr. Feelgood album.
Okay.
SOS.
That's one I also played along to.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's probably one of the top ones for me.
And besides rock music, is there any style of music, whether it's jazz, whether it's pop, classical, that you would be interested in trying to play in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I sing and drum a lot of genres. I've done 50s, like you were mentioning before. I've done soul, yeah.
Wow, cool.
I do rock. I do really heavy stuff. I do a lot. But it's really cool. I love singing CCR, even though it's not rock. I love all genres.
Wow, I love CCR.
Awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of from the rock drummers that I've interviewed, everybody seems to mention jazz as a type of music that they play, and I think maybe it's because it helps them keep the rhythm.
Yeah.
But like Steve Smith, he used to be drummer from Journey. Mm-hmm. He's a famous jazz drummer as well, and that seems to be his style of music. Nick Menza played jazz. A lot of the heavy thrash metal drummers, that seems to be their preference besides rock.
Yeah, I mean, when I get into 8th grade or high school, I definitely want to join the jazz band. It seems really fun. I mean, I've only tried to play jazz a few times, but I really need to learn how to do it. That's definitely a genre that you need to learn the correct way to do it.
Right.
Because if you try it, then you might not do it right. But I really want to learn. It's definitely one of the genres I want to learn how to play on drums.
How about the double bass drums? Have you ever tried the double bass drums? And if you did, um, how how did it feel playing double bass?
Yeah. At home, right here, actually, I have a double bass pedal,
Okay.
but I've only played on a double bass drum kit a few times. I think Bark at the Moon had one.
Oh,
But yeah, it's weird because the double bass pedal is so different than the double bass drum. Because with the double bass drum, your legs are like a triangle almost. With the double bass pedal, it's like shifted, and the left pedal is so far away from the hi-hat when you're using a double bass drum that it's difficult to go back and forth from the double bass pedal to the double bass drum.
Gotcha. Wow. This is very insightful. I love it. Okay, so Colby, you showed us your magazine earlier. I think that's super cool. I mean, to be featured on the cover of a magazine like that.
Yeah.
Show us again. Show us again.
Yes,
There you
I
go.
was put on the cover of my local town magazine, and I was really popular in school the next day. Let's just say that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
so
I was
tell
in
us-
my band. I was in my band class last period, and I got called down to the principal's office, and I was like, "Oh no, what could this be for?" So I walked down to the principal's office, and I just walk in the office where my principal, Dr. Bolton, always is, and I just see the principal, the co-principal, the all the people in the office, the guidance counselor, all in one room, just staring at me. And my principal's like, "Hello," and I'm like, "Hi," and and then my principal picks up his magazine like this, and then he
Aw.
says, "I looked on my front porch this morning and I saw you." And then he asked me if I wanted to go on the school's website, and he put the magazine on there. Yeah, it was really cool.
So
did
how did
any of
that
them?
come
Oh,
about?
sorry.
No, I was just going to ask how did that come about? You know, you being featured in the magazine and on the cover. How did that come about?
Yeah, so the editor actually reached out to us to see what we were doing, and yeah, he heard about all the fun things I was doing, and he wanted to put me in the Westfield local town. And I have an article in the magazine, and I'm on the cover. And if you guys want to find it, you can go on my website, kobereese.com again. There's an online version on there. You can view it on there.
Yeah, and that's the other exciting thing that just came about recently. You now have a .com. How cool
Yes,
is that?
yes.
Very,
Yep,
very cool.
kobereese.com.
Very, very cool. Very, your mom must be so proud.
Yeah,
I'm sure she is. I'm sure she is, and everybody just absolutely loves you. So that's super cool. All right, so we're just about halfway through. So usually, what Lisa and I do at this point is we start asking all the fun questions, not related to sort of music. Well, we do bring a little bit of music in here, but it's all the fun stuff. So I'm going to start this off. And Angel, you can think of something fun that you want to ask. But usually, when I have guests on, Kobe, my favorite question to ask is, if you were stranded on a desert island, what 5 items would you want to bring with you?
Okay, so this is a really, really tough one. Do people count?
Sure.
Okay, so there's a lot of people in my family. I mean, I have 4 siblings. 3 of them are engaged. One's married. Out of the engaged, but yeah, I would probably bring my mom, my dad. I'd probably bring my drumsticks because I can drum anywhere. I would definitely bring my phone, and I would probably bring. This is really tough. Oh, I don't know. Maybe my computer.
Ooh, awesome. So you can update your website while you're out there, huh?
Yeah, people still know about me even though I'm stranded on a desert island.
There you go. So maybe you can send like a rescue crew or something. Send a boat to come pick you up.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Now, a question that Lisa usually likes to ask, and I don't know if she's asked you this before or not, but she always asks her guests, if you were in a hot tub time machine, and if you were to set the dial to any time period, where would you go? What would you do?
I would probably go to 1981. A lot of songs were released there. I mean, a lot of Bon Jovi songs. Alice Cooper. What
Ooh.
else? Yeah, everything was in that genre. Or I would go to later in the 80s, so then I could still listen and see all the bands that had their hits already.
Very cool. Yeah, so Alice Cooper. Have you ever seen Alice Cooper in
I
concert?
have. I've seen him one time,
Oh,
which
wow.
was really, really cool.
Wow, what an experience that must have been, because his style is very, very different from a lot of,
It
musicians
is.
out there.
Yeah, he brought a big baby on stage. It was crazy. He had like so many props. He wears the makeup. It's so cool.
Very cool. Yeah, I usually say this. If any of our guests bring up Alice Cooper, I actually used to be in a Cooper tribute band back in the day.
Oh, really?
I was. So you know how Alice Cooper, sometimes he has his wife or his daughter come up and
Yeah.
make like different acting bits. That's what I did.
Cool.
It was really cool, and I'll never
That's so
forget
cool.
It was, yeah. I mean, our very first show, Kobe, we had about 4,000 people there. It was a pretty big audience, yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So another question, and anytime anyone brings Kiss up, I always have to ask this because Kiss is one of my favorite bands personally.
Yeah.
How did you discover Kiss?
Well, I was 7 when I first saw Kiss. I didn't really know a lot. I knew all the songs, but I couldn't name a lot of bands off the top of my head like I can now. So my parents thought that would be a good first concert, not like Shine Down or Megadeth. So they brought me to a Kiss concert, and they just started showing me photos of them, and I was like, I want to look like that guy. So they put all makeup on me for Peter Criss. They dressed me up. Then we went. I had all Kiss merch on. I had the makeup on. It was great. I sprayed my hair black, I think. Yeah, and then I was 7. I was just and there's this one restaurant there that we always go to, and it's fun. Yeah, that was great.
So you saw Kiss at 7 years old. Wow,
I did.
Kobe.
It was at MSG.
At Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was actually really cool because you know how there's the stage and then there is a bunch of floor seats.
Yeah.
There was another stage in the back, and Paul Stanley took this rope and he jumped on the rope, and the rope swung over the audience to the stage in the back. It was crazy.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So were you close to that stage? Like were you close?
I
to
was
the
not.
stage?
I was on the side of the arena, but Gene Simmons actually came over me in like a crane, and he was trying to throw me guitar picks, but he didn't throw one to me. He would throw one to like 2 people to my left, 2 people to my right. I guess I'm really small.
No.
That's the disadvantage to being small.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh my God. Angel, I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you got for Kobe?
Okay, a fun question. Okay, here's a good multiple choice fun question. If you could take a road trip anywhere, where would you go? And car, an RV, or tour bus?
Okay, so I would probably go like a tour bus to Florida, Orlando.
Why
So
did I
could.
think you were going to ask that? Why would you? I knew it.
I know.
knew it.
I love Disney World. I love Disney. I have like a little collection of Pluto. He's my favorite character. I mean, I have him on my phone case here. I'm all Disney. My whole
You're
family
11
loves
years old
Disney.
and you have a phone. Wow, I didn't have a phone at 11.
Yeah,
Lucky.
well, my parents actually got me my phone.
We didn't have phones when we were 11.
Yeah, they did, but they were like this big.
Yeah. But my parents got me my first iPod. It's like a phone but smaller. They got it when I was 9, I believe, 9 or 8. They got it on Christmas, and they did it because I kept having to use my mom's phone to rehearse my drums, and I would plug in my headphones and I would play the drums. And then they finally got me an iPod, and I would play my music off of there. It was great.
That's so cool. Angel, stay with it.
What drumsticks is there like a? I guess because when I was 11, it's kind of weird to explain. The drumsticks I used to use was the light ones that were like black and white, that were not made of wood. What drumsticks do you actually prefer? Is there like a brand or?
Yeah, there is. I like Zildjian sticks, but I noticed that when I was little, I always try to twirl the sticks and flip them, and they used to fly out of my hands when
I
I'm
used to do
drumming.
the same thing as well. I used to go like that, and sometimes used to drop or.
Yeah, so I noticed that you could get black dipped. They're dipped in like wax, so it's like more grip. And I use 5A sticks. Yeah, I use 5A sticks. Oh, here it is. Thanks, Mom.
That's what this is.
Here's my sticks. Yep.
That's really cool.
Cool.
This one's actually almost broken, but it's one of my sticks. And then I twirl. And
You do it better than I did. I would try it, but because you used to see Tommy Lee do it so easily.
yeah.
Okay, so
Like in the
Nicole,
80s.
Yeah, he's a big one now with twirl it.
Okay,
us how
can
to
you
do
teach
that.
Candy how to
Yeah,
do
teach
that?
us.
Okay,
So
so
she does it herself.
so to twirl, you are going to take your hand like this, and you are going to put the stick with the tip of it facing outward.
Okay.
And you're going to put it in between your middle finger and your pointer finger.
Okay.
So the end of it should be facing you. And basically all it's doing is going like this. So it's just going in a circle. That's
Okay.
all it's doing. It's not flipping or anything. So you're just going to go like that and try to get it as much as you can. So a good place to start would be to go like this. Like just keep going it back and forth like that. And then eventually you start getting the height a little bit and it turns into a circle.
I would
Oh,
always.
almost got it.
Yeah.
I still
There
couldn't
we go.
get it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was your age, I just could not,
That's
because that
so
was like
cool.
the popular thing to do
Yeah.
with the drummers in the 80s. Like you look at the Home Sweet Home video with Tommy Lee, he's
Yeah.
just doing it that way.
Yeah.
That's one of the main parts of my drumming show. I definitely do a lot of shows. I flip my sticks a lot, but I raise my sticks. That's one of the reasons why people love to see me drum. People come to me in the audience. They say, "Hey, I've never seen a drummer drum like you. Even adults, they never do as much show as you." And that's what I try to aim for. I look at a lot of drummers, Tommy Lee, and I learn off of them.
And I'm just curious to ask, how do you feel about drum solos?
I've only written one drum solo,
Okay.
but I'm actually performing it with Amped at Stagehouse. It's a restaurant near me. But yeah, I made a drum solo, and I'm excited to perform it. But
That's very cool. Awesome.
thanks.
So, okay, now, I just had a question in mind, and it totally, I'm having a brain fart right
That
now.
happens to me all the time.
That happens to me as well.
What was, what was it like the very first time that you were on stage?
The very first time was when I was 7, not long after I joined, because I started getting good at drums really, really fast. He would teach me something, and I would come in the next week with it down pat. And I started progressing really easily. So I was in the group where he started performing when I was 7, and it was actually a Rolling Stone show. And I didn't do any show at that point. It was all my drumming because that was my first time ever. And my parents were really, really proud of me. I did like 2 songs, I think. Yeah, but it was so cool. And it was such a good feeling for me. That was one of the times I did get really nervous, but I was super excited.
Awesome. So when you first told your parents, like, Mom, Dad, I want to be a rock star, what was their initial reaction?
Well, I actually never really told them. I mean, they just saw the marks on my bed frame from the chopsticks, and they were like, how did these get here? And then I was like, I want to be a drummer. And I was like, I've been drumming on my bed. So then they were like, oh, we need to get him a drum set.
And that was it. Like, it was just,
Yeah, my
all
parents
from there
are
on.
super supportive of. Yeah, my parents are super supportive of. Tongue twister. Oh my god.
Yep.
But they help me a lot in my career. They definitely help me. Like, not a lot of parents that from famous artists help them as much as they do to me, and I'm super lucky. Thank you guys so much. Probably upstairs right now, but thank you, Mom. And yeah.
Very, very cool. Okay, so let me see. I had another question in mind. Now I'm having another brain fart. Wow, I must really be starstruck. This only happens when I'm starstruck, Kobe.
As long as she doesn't blame me.
Well, I am now that you mentioned it.
Yeah.
What were some of your favorite places to perform? I know you mentioned a whole bunch of different things that you've done over the summer. Things that you've done in the past. What were some of your favorite places that you got to perform?
Definitely one of my favorites. I performed there a lot. Was the Cutting Room in New York City. I know the owner very well, and it's such a cool stage, good audience. It's great. There's an upstairs. And one of my favorite parts, this has nothing to do with performing, but there's this giant chandelier with all guitars around it, and they're like shiny. It's really, really cool.
Very, very cool.
And then another place that I love to perform at, I've only been there once, but it wasn't really a venue. It was a park in New York. And I performed there with Rubik's Cube, and there was like 4,000 people there. It was crazy, crazy. But there were so many people. I just looked out and saw the whole audience. It was great.
Very, very cool. So, how about like merch? Do you have T-shirts or anything that you're bringing out at any time?
Not yet, but I plan to get some merch out soon.
Very cool. Angel.
Yep.
Go for it.
Oh,
I blamed you earlier, and now you're gonna pay.
Yeah,
so
you blame me. No, I was just showing off the front row promotion shirt that I have on.
Yes, we're here on Front Row Promotions, hanging with Kobe Reese. You are absolutely adorable. You're absolutely adorable.
Thanks.
Yep, Angel. And I got 1 hour's notice I'd be filling in.
Yeah, no, this is really cool. This is definitely a change, a first.
Well, for Kobe, I would do it. Anybody else would have been like, nah, I got something else. Do you have a favorite? Okay, in your opinion, what songs, could be more than one, has the best drum intros? Like, you listen to Guns N' Roses, You Could Be Mine, like the drum intro to that, Judas Priest, Painkiller.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what are some of your favorites?
I was about to say Painkiller. I mean, that's really cool. I've tried to play it so many times, but the drummer, I don't remember his name. It was on the tip of my tongue, but it just flew away. But he's so good. I've definitely seen many videos of him. I love Tommy Lee.
Yeah. No, that beginning to Painkiller, I tried practicing it as well because I was 11 when Painkiller came out.
Oh, really?
So I would always try, but it just gave me like a hard time.
Yeah.
And then the next year, Guns N' Roses, You Could Be Mine, the intro, and I could not get that one either. I'm practicing it, but the one from Painkiller is just more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty good at it. I mean.
There you go. We actually have a fan question that came through, Kobe.
Okay.
We have Amy. Again, she's a big Aerosmith fan, but she's really curious to know, Kobe, if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what do you think you'd be doing? What would you be interested in?
Well, I do some sports on the side. I play baseball. I used to play basketball. I love basketball so much. I'm really good at defense. That's my thing in basketball. But I love drawing. I love a lot of things, but I probably be just doing sports and stuff like all the other kids in my school.
Very cool. Lisa, our lovely co-host, again could
Yeah.
not be here, but she's chiming in here on the chat. She wants to know when you're coming to Baltimore, Maryland, Kobe.
Well, yeah, that's pretty far, but I'm about to release a new song that you'll hear soon, but maybe I'll travel there. Who knows?
And that was going to be in the last set of questions, but since you brought it up, I mean, tell us about your new song. What can we expect from you?
Yeah, so I've been creating this new song. I'm giving no spoilers. You can wait till it comes out, but
no worries.
It's really
And you're good at promoting.
Yes, I'm finishing up the recording of it, but it's on Saturday. I'm going, and it's gonna be great when it comes out. You guys can listen.
Absolutely. Yeah, you teach everyone a thing or two about promotion. That's so cool.
Yes, because it's like you got me all curious, but I get it. You don't want to give anything away, so.
Yeah.
But that's a good way to do it.
Mm.
So, Kobe, I want to know as well, like, what advice would you give to, kids around your age, or maybe just anybody that wants to start out with this type of a career? What would you tell them?
Yeah, so many famous artists have given me great advice. One of the pieces of advice, Joel Hoekstra from Whitesnake shared.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually got to interview him when I was working with Mark Weiss. He walked in the room and my knees were shaking. I was so nervous. But it was a crazy experience. And that same night, I also got to interview Constantine Maroulis.
Okay.
And it was so cool. Really, really cool.
Wow.
The advice that Joel gave me was to always stay humble, which was really good advice to me. And that's what I would definitely say to all younger kids that are starting music. Definitely stay humble. Work hard. It's another one.
It's so important, to stay humble and to, really appreciate and love what you do.
Yeah.
For sure. So remind us again, you said your song is coming out. When is it? When is it coming out?
It's going to be coming out soon. I'm just finishing up the recordings on Saturday, but yeah, in a close time range.
Awesome. Now, another question that Lisa wants, she's chiming in again. She wants to know, will you ever be her co-host one day?
Maybe.
That's so
hopefully
cool.
When I get super famous, I'll come and be your co-host and do more interviews,
There you go. And Amy's chiming in again. She's got another really good question for you, Kobe. This might be a little difficult to answer because it's certainly difficult for me. I don't know, but she wants to know, Kobe, can you name your top 3 favorite albums?
Wow.
Ooh, my top 3 favorite albums. Okay, number
take your
1.
Time.
Okay, number 1 would probably be "Slippery When Wet" by Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi, yeah.
One.
Number 2 would definitely be the Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood album. I don't know what it's called. I think it might be called Dr. Feelgood. I'm not sure.
Yep, it is called. Yep, that was the first
Okay.
record that I ever bought.
Yeah, I wasn't positive. But
Came out when I was 11.
yeah. Yeah, now music is really different. I don't really like the pop, but there's no albums anymore. It's like, oh, you just download Spotify, you ask Google, hey Google, play this song for me. And it's really different. But my third album, that's a really tough one. I don't know most of the album names. Like I can describe what the picture looks like.
Okay, just describe it and we'll.
It might be the Livewire album. Too Fast for Love.
Ooh,
Yep, you got it right.
Yeah.
that's awesome. Wow, some good
That's
picks.
an awesome choice.
Wow. My all-time favorite album, for anyone that's curious, since we're on this subject, I've always loved the Scorpions' Humanity album. That's my all-time favorite rock album. And a very close second is Psycho Circus by Kiss.
Oh, really?
Yes. I don't know if there's a third. At least not right now.
If we made them do 3, you got to do 3 as well.
I got to
Kandi.
do 3.
That's only
Okay,
fair.
so I'm
Yes, you
gonna pick my third album, probably Too Mean to Die by Accept.
So they're awesome
And actually,
records.
shout out to the boys. I'm going to see them in about a month and a half. They're very dear friends of mine. So
Oh,
hey, if you're
really?
watching, yeah. Hey guys,
cool.
if you're tuned in, hello. Angel, now it's your turn. What are your top 3 favorite albums?
Jeez, I thought you was going to skip me, but okay. Of
You're not,
course,
you're not
Motley
getting away
Crue,
with this
Dr.
one.
Feel Good.
Yeah.
Motley Crue,
Yeah.
Dr. Feel Good, because it's my favorite. Oh, wow. The Keep the These Days album by Bon Jovi. That's definitely a second.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Third. Wow. For the third is I'm gonna have to go with the Poison Native Tongue album.
Yeah.
I love that
Ooh.
record. I know it was with Richie Kotzen, who's very, very talented, but I just love that record.
Yeah, that's a good one. I
Very,
saw
very
Poison. I saw Poison in Philadelphia at the stadium tour, and Bret Michaels' stage presence is amazing. Like, he's definitely one of the best singers I've ever seen live. But I actually got backstage at that show, and I got to meet Mick
Wow.
Mars of Motley Crue, who was also playing, which was really a dream come true. It was awesome.
So was that the stadium tour show?
Yep. It
Oh,
was
very
in
cool.
Philadelphia. I saw them.
Very, very cool. Wow. Everybody but me got to go to that tour.
I didn't go either.
Yeah, it was postponed
Let
like
me
3 times. It was crazy.
Yeah. So now another question that Lisa usually likes to ask. I'm gonna kind of be her voice on this one. What is your favorite quote, Kobe?
My favorite quote. I don't really know a lot of quotes by musicians. Yeah, I know. I never remember quotes, but when I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one. Oh wait, I don't remember. I'll get back to you if I remember it, but
Gotcha.
I think it's by Ben Franklin. It was my
Oh
favorite
wow.
one.
He was a very important person in history too.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so here goes another question that from my brain. Oh, I remember what it was. I remember. Okay, so with everything that's been happening in the world these last couple of years, Kobe, I know you're fully aware of everything that went down.
Yeah.
And all the craziness that went on, but we want to focus on the positive. We don't want to talk about the negative part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I usually like to find out from our guests is, what do you feel like COVID gave you rather than what it took from you?
There's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that I loved about COVID. My music schools did these things called master classes.
Okay.
And basically the teacher would teach you about something, and you could take as long as you needed. You could learn, you could go every week if you wanted to. And there was this one class that nobody went except me every week. And it was online. And the teacher would go to different places. He would be at a recording studio, and I would learn so much from that one class. It was crazy. But COVID also gave me a lot of practice time. I got to practice my drums, my vocals. Yeah, I could do my schoolwork in 2 hours, since school was all different then.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what a lot of people did. A lot of the musicians and me personally, with podcasting and being a radio host, we had a chance to sit at home and really practice and get better, and hone our craft. And it was also an opportunity, for us as radio hosts, because a lot of the musicians, and I should say all musicians really, were not able to go on tour. So they're at home, they're looking for ways to promote as well. So
yeah, I was also able to learn from YouTube how to play the keyboards, which was good, because I used it a lot when I wrote I Want to Be Happy, which is actually about COVID. That I wanted to be happy again. I wanted the world to change again and get out of COVID. But that's why I wrote it. But it definitely helped me a lot, the piano.
That's so sweet. That's really cool. Okay, so we're kind of running out of time here. We're going to go on for just a little bit longer. So I want to steer it back to my powerful and attractive co-host. I think he's on, he's on this side? Yeah, this side.
No, the other side.
Oh, this side.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I was on the other side.
Oh, you're messing with us again.
He trusted me too much.
Go for it.
Oh, question. Okay. during the period of COVID, is there any band or any album that you discovered or really had a chance to listen to?
Not really a band in particular because
Okay.
I get in these stages where I go to see a band and I just keep listening to them for a little bit, and then I see another band and I keep listening to them. And I didn't get to see any shows, so I basically would listen to my hair metal playlist over and over and over again, and that's where I really got familiar with all the songs. And recently I saw Jukebox the Ghost. They opened for Almost Queen, and the same stage has happened. I love Jukebox the Ghost now, but during COVID, I would just listen to my hair metal playlists. Yeah, that's about
Do
it.
you have a favorite music movie?
Music movie.
Yeah.
Yes. What was the Queen movie called? The Queen movie was
Bohemian
definitely
Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
yes, Bohemian
Yeah, that was a
Rhapsody.
good one.
Um, Now, me and my dad used to watch Rockstar, but he would like skip over the bad parts, so we would just watch him performing.
What was the
Yeah,
bad parts? I mean, there's quite a few.
yeah, there is.
Angel.
But
There
I
were
would
quite
also
a
watch.
few.
Yeah, I would also watch That Thing You Do, which is a great movie.
I love that movie as well,
Yeah, it's
especially
really funny.
with young drummer. That was funny. The drummer broke his arm, and then
Yeah, and then
the other
the
guy
drummer.
came and filled in, and he kind of wore the shades. I think
Yeah.
that's where Lisa and Kandi got the idea to wear the shades for the show. Could have been from
Really?
that movie with the drummer.
No way, sir. No. Shout out to our friend Jay Oakley, also co-host of the Metal
Yeah.
Summit.
Yes.
He does that on his show, and I thought, oh, that's a pretty cool concept.
He only does that, but again, I'm on a different show, so I'm doing as you and Lisa do, and I notice
There
you
you
and
go.
Lisa always wear the shades, so I figured I wear the front row promotion shirt, and I wear the shades as well.
There you go. But yeah, shout out to Jay Oakley. He's the one that started
Yes.
that. He's a trendsetter.
Yes, he is.
So, Angel, anything final from you?
Wow, just kudos to you. I mean, to be 11 and be doing with what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just don't pay attention to any of the negative comments.
Yeah,
You're always going to have somebody that's miserable.
yeah.
And man, have any teachers asked you for an autograph? Had to ask.
I think my Spanish teacher in school did say, "Can you sign my magazine?" Because they all found them on their front porches. So, but all of them hung them up in their classroom, which was really funny.
But like, yeah, you better give me an A for this. Here you go.
Yeah.
A.
I'll
Just
give
right
you an
now.
autograph in exchange for a straight A report card.
Oh, there's a good question on the thing, the message.
Oh, is there? Hang on. What do we have?
Yeah.
What do we have? Let me bring it up here. Oh boy. What do we got? Oh.
That's a good
Okay,
question.
Angel, why don't you go ahead and read that one?
Do any of your friends treat you differently since you became a rock star?
Not really. I mean, only a couple of my friends, because I'm in a new school. So a couple of elementary schools merged, and I didn't know some kids that were in my friend group, and they didn't even know what I did. And they were in my classes, and the teacher they showed up the magazine, and they were like, "You're a rock star." But if anything, they treated me better. But not really. Most of them knew what I did. They were very friendly to me, always good friends.
There's nothing wrong with being a rock star.
But again, just be humble. And that's the best,
Yeah.
best
Yes, be
advice that
humble.
you could give, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Now, one kind of final thing from me, just one more little fun thing that we like to talk about, since Halloween is coming up in about a month or so. What is your favorite thing to do for Halloween? Do you go to costume parties? Do you like to watch scary movies? Like, what's your favorite thing about Halloween?
Yes, one of my favorites is definitely hanging out with my friends, dressing up. But I also do a lot of shows during the Halloween season, which is really cool. And we go to the shows, my music schools, my band. We dress up too. So last year we did superheroes. We do a lot, but it was really, really fun.
What was the first costume you ever wore to go out trick-or-treating that you can remember?
Ever? I think it was Batman. Yeah, I used to love superheroes.
Okay, okay. Batman or Superman?
Batman
What
all
do
the
you
way.
prefer? Batman all the way. Okay, gotcha.
All the way.
That's so cute. All right, so we are kind of running out of time. One more thing we'd like to get out of the way here on Front Row. Why don't you plug your website and plug all your socials? Where can everybody find Kobe Reese?
Yeah, so if you just look on my website, kobereese.com, pretty simple to remember, just my name, then .com. And you can't get any more simpler than that. But all my social media is on there. You can look up when you want to come see me. All my upcoming shows are there. Some of my photos with Peter, Chris, McMars, all of them are on there, photo galleries. And you can look at my YouTube page, which has all of the videos of me performing with ever, basically, all videos. And all the stuff's on there. So kobereese.com.
Very cool. And how about your socials that you have? Do you do the Instagram? Do you do Facebook?
Yep, I do Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Wow.
And there's
Gotcha.
all links in my website. So you can just click the Instagram button and it'll take you right to my Instagram.
Here you go. That is so totally cool. So guys watching, definitely check Kobe out. Go to his website, kobereese.com, and hit him up on all his socials. Show
Hi,
him
guys.
your love. There we go.
Hi.
We have our lovely co-host, Lisa
How's
Melchert,
everything?
back here.
I have
Hi,
Chloe to
got-
say hi to Kobe.
Oh, we got
Hi,
the glow
Chloe.
glow.
Mwah, mwah. Blow some kisses. Yeah.
Oh,
you
you
know,
want to hear something
So-
Bon Jovi related? The guitar player in Bon Jovi said hi to Chloe one time
he did.
in one of the shows.
Cool.
Wow.
But guess who got my
Angel.
name wrong?
Oh no.
I called her Melissa by accident.
Oh no. How dare you, Angel? Is
But
there
that was
anything
funny.
final from you, Angel, before we sign off?
No, I just want to say, thank you for taking the time.
Yes.
Come
No,
back
thank
to
you
the,
for
come back to
having
the
me.
Metal Summit.
Yeah, go back on the Metal Summit. We love those guys. We love you, Angel.
Yes.
Lisa,
Well,
is there
yes.
anything from you that you want to say to Kobe? Anything from you as we sign off here?
I just want to say thank you again. Thanks so much for coming to Front Row again. And
No problem.
I love the fact that you come back to the show. And sorry I couldn't be on it. I was going through what I had to go through.
That's okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm sure
Well-
you were in good hands, and I'm glad that you came and you all had a great time. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you,
I'll tell
everyone,
you.
so much for having me. Thank you, Angel, for coming on. Love to see you again.
You rock.
And Kobe, I just want to say once again how awesome you are and how adorable you are. I mean, like I said, you remind me a lot of my son. My son is about your age. Wow, just thank you so much for being here. This was totally awesome. I think this might go down in my books as one of my favorite interviews. So
Awesome. I can't wait to watch the whole thing. I watched a little bit, but yes, we send our love.
absolutely.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much for having me.
You're
Absolutely.
welcome. You're
So
welcome.
we just want to say thank you for everyone that tuned in, that posted your questions. We appreciate you and love you all so much. Join us
Absolutely.
back here next week. We got a good one coming up for you. So check out Front Row Promotions on Facebook and on YouTube to find out what we got coming up. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Angel. And thank you, Kobe. And shout out to your
Yes.
mom. Thank you so much for
Good
putting us all
mom.
together.
Yeah.
About to
Hi.
you. Yes.
Thank you so much, guys. We will see you all soon. Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
All
Kobe,
right.
stay
Thank
on
you.
for a sec, okay?
Hang on. And I'm going to hit the end button here. Front Row Promotions. Bye now.